What's up, NBA fans? It's Hot Sports back here again, bringing you another video. And today we're going to be talking about the players I think will take the NBA by storm next season. Now, about half the players on this list are players that have been established for at least a couple of years, and people already know are great, but I expect to take their games to even greater heights next year. And the other half are players that just came on the scene last year, or just are rookies, and are going into their next season and I think can take their game to even another level after already being impressive to start out with. Now, either way, I think fans and teams should definitely keep an eye on them, and they could be terrorizing to other teams in their conference. Now, in both cases, I think all these players should or at least will have the chance to make the All Star team this year, but we will see. Before we get into this video, if y'all go and hit that like button and subscribe button if you hadn't subscribed yet, I definitely appreciate that. It helps out a lot. But let's go ahead and get to the first player. It's Jeremy Grant. And I love this man's game. He's not great at anything, which is why he's not a superstar or all-star or anything yet. But there's not one thing he's bad at. He's good at every single aspect of basketball on the court. And last year in the bubble, especially in the playoffs, I think was the best he's ever played. He was averaging about 16, 17 points per game and about like 7, 8 rebounds. And he was being a great team player, and he definitely was part of what pushed Denver to go to the conference finals and really push their team to the next level, which I really think they screwed up letting him go. And would I be surprised next year if he comes out averaging like 23 points per game, like 8.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals on the block, shooting like 50% from the field and 38% from deep? No, I wouldn't. I could definitely see that, and I could see him getting his first All Star nod and really saying like, "Oh, Detroit overpaid for him at the time, but he's really worth that contract now, and he's a great player." I'm excited to see him. Excited to see Detroit. Think he was a great pickup. All right, now we have Luka Doncic. Now he has did some amazing things in his young career. Um, only last year was his second season. He's already a top 10 player, no doubt in my opinion. And a lot of y'all may say he's already took the league by storm. What are you talking about? Well, even though people expect him to be great, I think there's a possibility. Now, just keep in mind, this is a prediction. I don't know these things, but I think Luka Doncic has a chance next year to take his game to even a bigger level and possibly be seen as a top 5 player next year. Because the leap from 8 or 9 to going to a top 5, that's hard to do considering how good the top players in the league are. But I think if he leads the Mavericks to like a top 4, top 3 seed this year and averages some of the stats he did this year. I mean, he averaged like 29 points per game and almost a triple double. I mean, that's really damn impressive. I cannot wait to see more of him. Last year I watched so many Mavericks games. Like, I'm a Wizards fan, so I don't want to watch them. I just wanted to watch Luka play. Like, he's such a fun guy to watch. I definitely want to see him next year. Could be talking about one of the best players in the league. I think he could be the best player in the league one day. So I definitely want to see what he can do next year. Okay, this guy surprised me last year, and this is the guy that was all the hype in the bubble, all the hype in the playoffs. Jamal Murray. Man, seeing him and Donovan Mitchell just in the first round go at it was one of the my favorite parts about the playoffs last year. But he didn't stop there because he was um, probably the biggest piece in the Clippers comeback by the Nuggets. And every game I watched by him, I was just amazed. Like he would make a clutch play, and you would think that would be all, and then he would just keep on coming, play after play after play, just lighting it up out there, no matter who was guarding him in both series, even in the Lakers series to a degree. And he really looked like he took his game from just being a good NBA player to a legitimate All Star and maybe even a superstar. I could easily see him averaging 25 points per game and just make the All Star game next year if he plays anything like that. the Nuggets are a stupid scary team, and they went from being an exciting young team to a really serious contender if he stays at that pace. All right, one of my favorite young players in the league, Tyler Herro, already coming off his rookie season, has finals experience in the NBA. That's insane, man. That is insane. Throughout the whole playoffs, he was amazing shot creator for them. Like there were multiple games where he hit like not just one clutch shot. I'm talking like three or more clutch shots to keep the Heat in the game or even win the game for them. And there were many times, even in the conference finals and the finals, where he was the primary ball handler for Miami, and they already trust Tyler Hero to run their offense and stuff like that. So I could see him possibly starting next year, but honestly, I think he will come off the bench just because I think Eric Spoelstra would just rather have a player that good come off the bench, and probably be more worth it to have him just come in and light up other NBA benches than have him start and then not really have like a star or a really good player that can score off the bench. So I think he'd do that just to stagger minutes, but he'll probably definitely close out games. Now for what I think he can do next year, oh, I mean, he's gonna go crazy. I think he might just miss the All Star game, but look out for him to average 22 up points per game. I could see that, and I think he will win Sixth Man of the Year. He's definitely my dark horse for Sixth Man of the Year. I don't know if it should be a dark horse. I mean, as long as he comes off the bench and doesn't start, I think he will win that award. There's almost no doubt in my mind. I'm really excited for him too. I mean, I'm just excited for the NBA guys. Not gonna lie. Now we got an interesting player up next, Michael Porter Jr. This guy hasn't proved himself as much as other people, but he was one of the people on the All Bubble team last year. He has, I think, multiple 30-point games, and he's a really interesting case because whenever you're 6'11" and have the speed, athleticism, can dribble the ball, and pull up and score like he can, you always draw comparisons to people like Kevin Durant and such. And really, I don't see why he can't be a star in this league. He hasn't had too many chances because of that back injury early on, but um, would I be surprised again if I see this guy go from someone who wasn't as amazing to him averaging over 20 points per game and um along with what I said about Jamal Murray, I mean this could just push the Nuggets to another level. I mean, he could legitimately go to being a star next season because he was seen as being that good before he came into the league. People just passed on him because of those injuries. But if he is good enough even after those injuries, I mean, this could be a scary, scary man. I'm talking about him, Jamal Murray, and Nikola Jokic. Y'all better watch out because if he gets his offensive skills down and he gets good enough on defense to actually earn more minutes on the floor, the league's not gonna like that man. They're not gonna like it. Finally, we got the last player here for y'all today. He's probably the most talked about young player in the league right now, and that is Zion Williamson. He played 19 games in his NBA career, and ESPN ranked him 19 on their top 100 list. um, but jokes aside, man, he is an amazing player, and we haven't seen too much of him. And that's why I think, he's had a year of NBA training, as in he has the weight room and the practice facilities, or trainers, the chefs, all that to get his body more in shape and more right, and really just get used to NBA basketball. He's got a little bit of games under his belt. Next season, I mean, I'm not sure what to expect. I say the floor for him, he may average 20 points and 8 rebounds and get like a block per game, and that's just kind of like a good young player, maybe with like Blake Griffin or John Wall came into the league like. But I say the ceiling, this guy could come in and just be like Luka Doncic this year. Like he could come in and already be like a top 10 player in the league and lead his team to like a 5 or 6 seed. I could definitely see that. There's no doubt in my mind that could happen. And with the way people are hyped over him, and the fans voting in, he may even start in the All Star game. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the possibility. We'll see how that happens, but I mean, you have to admit that's probably a pretty big possibility. Um, the Pelicans team's just a fun team to watch in general. I say so many young players on there. All these players I mentioned are fun to watch if you think about it. But that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed the video and tell me what y'all are most excited about for this upcoming NBA season, whether it be a player or a team or just whatever you're excited about, man. Just comment down below. But I'll see y'all next time.